Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 2 of my Arrow video collection video. Recently I did a video for my Arrow video collection and that was part 1 of the video. And in that video I basically just went through all my sort of standard releases from Arrow, just the standard Amaray releases, the slipcover releases. So if you haven't seen that video, I will leave a link in the description below if you want to check that out. But yeah, we're in part 2 now and I will be going through the rest of my Arrow video collection, and this will be more of my my deluxe premium editions from Arrow. So I've got some steel books here and I've also got quite a few box sets. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So I've just got a few steel books first, and the first one I have here is Big Trouble in Little China. And this is a fantastic steelbook from Arrow. I just love the artwork on it. Not much going on the back, but it's a beautiful steelbook. And the film, of course, is just so much fun. One of John Carpenter's best, in my opinion. But yeah, that is Big Trouble in Little China on steelbook. Next, we have Brian De Palma's Blowout on steelbook. Again, a very, very nice steelbook. Some really nice artwork on there. Yeah, fantastic movie. One of Brian De Palma's best, in my opinion. Not quite as good as Dressed to Kill. That's probably one of my personal favourites, but I do really like this one as well. And yeah, another great steelbook from Arrow. Next steelbook we have is The Burning. So yeah, a very early 80s slasher movie. Yeah, I had to get this just, again, the steelbook just looked absolutely fantastic when it first came out. There's some really nice artwork on there. I know this movie kind of has a bit of a divisive opinion amongst people. I know people who love it. I know other people who really don't like it at all. But I think it's pretty good. It's probably one of the better slasher movies that isn't Friday the 13th, Halloween, or Elm Street. Yeah, it's probably one of the better ones for me. But yeah, that is The Burning. Next steelbook we have is The Fall of House Usher, and I just love the artwork on this steelbook. I love the fact that it's landscape instead of portraits. Just some beautiful artwork on that. This is a Vincent Price movie based on an Edgar Allan Poe story. It's been a while since I've seen this one, but I do like Vincent Price. I do like a lot of the horror movies he does, especially the Edgar Allan Poe ones, and yeah, this is one of them. That's a fabulous steelbook. Next steelbook we have is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I just love the original artwork on this steelbook. It looks absolutely brilliant. And the movie, yeah, I don't need to say too much about the movie. It's fantastic. Very, very creepy sci-fi horror with an ending that just leaves chills for hours after it's over. It's just such a stunning way to end the movie. But yeah, I love this movie and it's a very, very nice steelbook. Next steelbook we have is another Brian De Palma movie, another early one from him, and it is Phantom of the Paradise. And yeah, I just love the art on this. This is absolutely stunning. Love that front cover. Then we got the back as well. Yeah, just a beautiful steelbook. Very, very underrated movie as well. It's kind of like a sort of a Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of movie, like a rock and roll horror comedy with elements of Phantom of the Opera thrown in there. It's a very, very crazy, wacky film, but it's a lot of fun, and yeah, it's a beautiful steelbook from Arrow. Next steelbook we have is The Pit and the Pendulum, another that's very similar to The Fall of House Usher, and yeah, this is probably my favourite of my Arrow steelbooks. I just absolutely love the artwork on there. It's just absolutely stunning. And the movie is really good as well, probably one of my favourite Vincent Price movies, and another one that has a very, very chilling ending. Yeah, even just thinking about it, it's creepy. But yeah, if you've not really seen any Vincent Price movies, this is one I would definitely recommend to watch first. But yeah, that's The Pit and the Pendulum. And then the last steelbook I have here is Theatre of Blood. Again, another sort of landscape steelbook. Some very nice artwork on the front of that. And yeah, the back is very nice as well. Another great Vincent Price movie, definitely up there with one of his best. Yeah, he just plays a great villain in this movie who is kind of wronged by all of these theatre critics who they just trash his performance in one of his plays, and he decides to get his own back against them in the most extreme way. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun, this movie, and yeah, very nice steelbook from Arrow. Okay, on to the box sets next, and these aren't really in any order. I'm just kind of grabbing what's first on the pile next to me. So the first one I've got here is the Demons 4K collection. So yeah, this is probably one of the worst packaging that I've seen from Arrow. It kind of opens up like so. and you get like the contents there. Yeah, it's just a bit awkward when you're trying to pull this off the shelf because, you know, it normally comes apart. But the collection itself is very, very nice, and the movies look absolutely brilliant in 4K. First movie is absolutely fantastic. I even like the second one, even though I know a lot of people aren't really the biggest fans of it, but I still really enjoy it. And yeah, packaging aside, it's still a very, very nice collection. Next up, we have the original Battle Royale limited edition box set. So this is the set that contains the Blu-rays. So you get the theatrical cut, director's cut, the special features, booklets, and like a comic book as well in there. So yeah, this is a very, very old limited edition from Arrow. They've since upgraded it to 4K, which you will see later on in this video. But yeah, this is the original set that they released at the time. Next up, we have the original limited edition of Deep Red. So this is the one that contains the Blu-ray. I think this came out in like 2015. Yeah, very, very similar to the 4K set that they released, but the only difference here is this one actually contains the soundtrack to the movie, and I don't think the 4K one does. But yeah, it's a fantastic movie. One that I didn't really like the first time I saw it, but on rewatch, it's probably one of my favorite Dario Argento movies now, and yeah, there you go, Deep Red. Next up, we have Bloodbath. So yeah, this is a like a limited edition set for I think it's like one of those Roger Corman produced movies from 1966. To be honest, I can't really remember much about this movie because it did come out quite a long time ago. It does have 4 cuts of the movie, and I think all 4 of them are like, they portray it as a very different movie depending on which cut you watch. So that might be interesting to some, but yeah, I can't really remember much about the movie, but you do get all the sort of the booklets and the posters and all that nice sort of stuff in there. Yeah, that's the poster, that's the front cover for the Blu-ray. But yeah, it's a nice set, but yeah, personally, I just can't really remember the movie all that well. Next up, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 limited edition set. Yeah, another one that I think is quite old from Arrow. I think it came out in 2013. You get like digipacks inside. Yeah, sort of like look like this. But it contains Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and it contains Tobe Hooper's early films as well, which is pretty cool. And like a nice booklet as well. Yeah, really, really nice set. And another movie that I know is quite divisive, but one that I really enjoy. But yeah, that is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Next up, we have Brian Yuzna's Society, another sort of limited edition box set. Yeah, this is a crazy movie. For the most part, it's pretty normal, but then you get to that ending, the last 20 minutes, and it just goes batshit crazy. And stuff happens that basically resembles this front cover. But yeah, this is another sort of great set from Arrow. It has like a digipack for the discs in, and it has like a comic book, which I think is like a comic book sequel to the movie, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I love all the artwork on this box set, and yeah, it's a great movie, Society. Next up, we have Bride of the Reanimator, another gorgeous limited edition set from Arrow. Very nice sort of green artwork all the way around, and yeah, similar to Society, it's got like a big digipack, which I think has 2 or 3 versions of the movie. I can't quite remember. I think it has like an uncut version and an R-rated version, and again, you get like another comic book in here. I think this comic book is a prequel to Bride of the Reanimator. I can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure it's a prequel of some sort. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful set. And the movie I enjoy, Reanimator is the best, but I still enjoy Bride as well. But yeah, there you go, Bride of the Reanimator. Right, so next up I have a bunch of individual films that are all in very, very similar limited edition box sets, so I'll just kind of go through them as quickly as I can. But the first one I have here is American Werewolf in London. So this is the original Blu-ray box set, not the 4K, but I'm pretty sure the 4K box set is exactly the same. Just you're getting the 4K disc instead. But yeah, this is the standard Blu-ray one. You get all your typical features in there, and yeah, beautiful artwork, and it's a great movie. Next up, we have the original limited edition of The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. This is the Blu-ray one. Again, you get the same sort of similar features. Yeah, nice sort of hard box, and yeah, one of my favorite Dario Argento movies, and yeah, very, very lovely set. Next up, we have Candyman. Again, not the 4K box set, just the standard Blu-ray one, but I think the 4K one is pretty much the same kind of packaging, but yeah, really love the artwork on this one. Yeah, all the sort of the usual features in there, and yeah, very, very nice set. Next up we have Carrie. Again, very, very similar box, very, very nice artwork on the front, and all the typical features on the back. Yeah, Carrie. Next up we have the original Cat o' Nine Tails Blu-ray box set. So yeah, again, not the 4K one, but the Blu-ray with all the sort of the usual features on there. Very, very nice set, and it goes very nicely with that other Bird with the Crystal Plumage set. But yeah, there you go, that is Cat o' Nine Tails. Next up we have the 4K limited edition of Crash. Yeah, this is a very, very nice set. I love the artwork on the front there, and yeah, like those other Blu-ray box sets with the 4K, you get the case with the 4K disc in there. You get the usual sorts of features, and yeah, it's a fantastic movie. One of my favorite David Cronenberg movies. Very, very strange, unusual, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I enjoyed this movie a lot. That is Crash. Next up we have The Hills Have Eyes. Yeah, not the 4K, just the standard Blu-ray one, but pretty much the same sort of features, I imagine, in this box set. I can never remember if I like this movie more or if I like the remake more, because I do really like the remake. And I can never remember if I like this more or the remake, but it's still a very, very awesome horror movie, and yeah, really, really good movie from Wes Craven, and very nice set from Arrow. And then we also have The Hills Have Eyes 2. So yeah, this is not a good movie at all, but I had to get it just because it goes so nicely with the first Hills Have Eyes box set. Yeah, the movie's not great, but the artwork is pretty nice, and you get all the usual sort of features in this box set. But yeah, if you can get this cheap, I'd recommend it, but I wouldn't pay full price for it. But yeah, that's The Hills Have Eyes Part 2. Okay, next up we have the Cat o' Nine Tails again, but this time we have the 4K box set, and I had to get this just because I love the original artwork on it. Yeah, just beautiful on the front. Yeah, I think all the features are pretty much the same as the Blu-ray one, but obviously you're just getting the 4K disc instead. And to be fair, the 4K of this movie does look really nice, and yeah, it's just a beautiful box set. Next up we have The Last House on the Left. So yeah, I know this movie is quite controversial. I know a lot of people don't really like it. I don't mind it. Yeah, I thought it was okay. I could handle a lot of the content in it, but I do appreciate that it's not for a lot of people. But yeah, it's a very, very nice box set nonetheless. All the usual features in there. But yeah, that is The Last House on the Left. Okay, next we have The Bird with the Crystal Plumage again, and like that 4K of Cat o' Nine Tails, this is the 4K box set. Same sort of features, but I just love this original artwork on it, and you get the 4K disc, and to be fair, the 4K does look very, very nice for the movie. And yeah, like I said before, it's one of my favorite Dario Argento movies. But yeah, that is Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Next up, we have Phenomena. So yeah, again, this is the 4K box set for Phenomena. All the usual sorts of features in there. Love the original artwork on this box set. The movie's not one of my favorite Dario Argentos. I still enjoy it. It's just not up there with my favorites. But it's still a pretty decent movie. It's fun. It's entertaining. But yeah, that is Phenomena. Next up, we have a movie called Pieces. And yeah, from what I remember, this is kind of like a slasher / giallo movie, and it's a Spanish movie, although it's kind of portrayed to be like an American slasher. Yes, some very, very extreme, gory moments in this movie. I remember it being a lot of fun. Yeah, just lovely artwork on that box set, and all the same sort of features in there. But yeah, that is Pieces. Next up, we have Deep Red on 4K. So yeah, again, like the previous Deep Red box set, this is very similar, although with this one you don't get the soundtrack, which you do with the Blu-ray one. But all the other features are pretty much the same, and the 4K transfer looks absolutely beautiful, and I just love that original Italian artwork for it. Yeah, one of my favorite Dario Argento movies, Deep Red. Next up, we have John Carpenter's The Thing. So yeah, I know this movie has been released numerous times on different formats, different Blu-rays, 4Ks, and I was happy to kind of stick with this one, but in the end I did kind of relent and get the 4K one as well. But I still think packaging-wise, this is the nicer release, and you do get a lot more special features with this one than you do with the 4K one. I think it's from Universal, is it? Yeah, and just really nice artwork on there, and all your typical features that you get with it. But yeah, that is the thing. Next up, we have the Tremors 4K box set. And yeah, I've got to say, I was blown away by the transfer with this movie. I wasn't really expecting much, especially considering the movie that it is, but it looks absolutely stunning on 4K, this movie. Yeah, same kind of features as the other box sets. Very nice artwork. Yeah, you get a lot with this release, and yeah, it's a great movie. Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon, just great chemistry. And yeah, it's just a very, very fun creature feature movie. But yeah, that is Tremors on 4K. Next up, we have True Romance. So this is the Zavvi limited edition steelbook. Yeah, I remember when this was announced as coming out, I looked at the normal Arrow limited edition, and I just didn't like the artwork on it. And then when I saw the Zavvi one, I thought, I'll get that, because you do get just a few extra things with this one, like nothing major, just like little things, but you get like a steel book with it, which is pretty nice. And yeah, it's just a very, very nice box set, and what an amazing movie, one of my all-time favorites. But yeah, that is True Romance. Next up, we have Waterworld with Kevin Costner. And yeah, I remember when this was first announced by Arrow, I think it was the first time where I thought, wow, Arrow are really starting to branch out and do more sort of mainstream, big budget movies, and this movie was a surprise to me. I've never been the biggest fan of this movie, but I still had to pick it up nonetheless. You do get, I think you get 3 cuts with this movie. One of them is I think it's the Ulysses cut, which I think is like a fan-made cut, but it's like 3 hours long, and I watched that, and it made me like the film a lot more. So yeah, I guess it was a good thing I did pick this up. But yeah, beautiful box set. Very nice artwork, and yeah, just a very enjoyable film. Definitely flawed, but still a lot of fun. Next up, we have the classic that is Robocop. And yeah, this isn't the 4K one. Again, it's just the standard Blu-ray one. You get all the same sorts of features as the other box sets. I think it's pretty much the same as the 4K box set. Yeah, same artwork and everything, but yeah, that artwork is just beautiful. And yeah, what a movie as well. Just a fantastic movie, one of my all-time favorites. But yeah, that is Robocop. Next up, we have a fairly recent release from Arrow, and I did do an unboxing for this. So if you do want to check this out, I'll leave a link in the description below. But it is Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Yeah, very controversial movie. I think even this release was quite controversial, given that a movie like this was given a 4K release when it probably didn't really need one. But yeah, I just love this box set. That artwork is absolutely stunning, and I really like the movie. I think the movie was quite ahead of its time when it came out. It is disturbing in places, yeah, but now I still really like it, and yeah, it's a beautiful set from Arrow. But as I said, if you want to check out my unboxing, I'll leave a link in the description below. But yeah, there you go. That is Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Next up, we have the Videodrome limited edition set. Now this is one that I will be upgrading very soon, because I know it has had a 4K announcement from Arrow, but I'm still going to keep this set because you do get some nice features with it. So you get the movie, you get David Cronenberg's early movies, and you get this beautiful booklet, which is like a nice hardback book. Yeah, really cool, with a lot of great sort of information inside. But yeah, it's a fantastic movie, one of my favorite David Cronenberg ones, and yeah, I just love this set. Next up, we have the original Donnie Darko Blu-ray set, and I think this is the only one that I haven't upgraded to 4K. I just love this this box set. The artwork on it is absolutely beautiful, and you get some pretty cool features in it. You get these digipacks, so you get the theatrical cut, the director's cut. Again, you get a very, very nice hardback book with all sorts of information about the movie, and I think this feature's pretty cool. You get like postcards with it, but they're like housed in this little envelope. Obviously that says Roberta Sparrow. You know, if you've seen the movie, you'll know what the sort of the significance of that envelope is. But yeah, I just think there's a lot of cool features in this box set, and I do think it is just a slightly nicer box set in comparison to the 4K one. But I will have to see the movie on 4K eventually, because I have heard that it does look very good. But yeah, there you go. That is Donnie Darko. Next up, we have Phenomena again, but this is just the original Blu-ray box set, not the 4K one. So this is the one I bought back in 2017, I think it was. So yeah, you get similar things in there. So you get the 2 cuts of the movie in these Amory cases, and then you get this this booklet. But like Deep Red, you can get the soundtrack in this box set, but not in the 4K one, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, that is Phenomena in the original limited edition set. Next up, we have a fairly recent pickup from me, and it is Major Dundee. Yeah, I'd never seen the movie before, but the artwork on this set just completely won me over. It's just absolutely stunning. And it has these very, very nice digibooks in it, digipacks in it, which Arrow haven't really done for a while. And yeah, it's just a beautiful set. The movie is pretty good as well. It's not like a masterpiece, but I still really enjoyed it. But yeah, it's just a beautiful set from Arrow. Next up, we have Guillermo del Toro's Crimson Peak, a movie that I think is so underrated. I think it's probably one of his best movies. But this is a very sort of unique box set from Arrow. You don't really get many that look like this. It kind of looks like a hardback book in a way. I don't know if it really shows very well on the camera, but it like opens up like so, and you've got like this this ribbon here to pull the contents out. And yeah, the contents are like housed in this this package that you have to take out like so. But yeah, it's a very, very nice box set. And yeah, it's a very, very underrated movie from Guillermo del Toro. But yeah, that is Crimson Peak. Right, so next up we have the Dr. Phibes collection. So this is 2 movies starring Vincent Price. Very, very nice set. You get digipacks in here again for the 2 movies. And then this very nice booklet. Beautiful set from Arrow. Movies are fantastic as well. 2 of Vincent Price's absolute best. If you like Theatre of Blood, definitely check out Dr. Phibes as well. Next up we have the Stray Cat Rock collection. So yeah, this is a series of Japanese movies. They're all kind of unrelated movies, but they're just about this gang, a gang of young teenagers who just kind of get up to sort of different things in different movies. They all kind of vary in nature, the movies. Some are good, some are okay. But yeah, it's another sort of digipack release from Arrow. You get a little booklet in there. But yeah, if you like your Japanese cinema, definitely give them a go. I think they're from the late 60s, early 70s, but yeah, they're pretty interesting movies. But it's a very nice box set from Arrow. But yeah, that is the Stray Cat Rock box set. Next up, we have the Tenebre 4K box set from Arrow. So yeah, I think in my part 1 of this video, I showed the original release, but I had to have this movie on 4K. And yeah, I just love the artwork on this as well. And yeah, you get the same kind of special features and posters and booklets in this set as you do with all the others. But yeah, fantastic movie and a fantastic release. Next up, we have the Battle Without Honors and Humanity collection. So this is not the original collection that they released back in the day. That was a box set I really wanted to get my hands on, but it was going for silly money. And then eventually they did release this standard release of these movies, Japanese Yakuza movies, kind of like Japan's version to The Godfather. And yeah, these movies are fantastic. I absolutely love them. But if you're going to watch them, make sure you watch all of them very, very close together, because if you don't, you will very quickly lose, you'll forget the plot and you'll forget certain characters and stuff. But yeah, they are fantastic movies and I definitely recommend them. Next up, we have the Graveyard of Honor box set. So again, 2 Japanese movies, both called Graveyard of Honor. We've got the original one and we've got the remake in there. And yeah, they're pretty solid, enjoyable Japanese Yakuza movies again. I think I prefer the original one. I just prefer it in that 1970s aesthetic, whereas the remake, I think it came out in like 2002 and it just doesn't really look as good to me, but still a very, very nice box set from Arrow. And yeah, if you like your Japanese cinema, give them a go. Next up, we have the Killer Dames box set. So this is a box set that contains 2 movies. It contains The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave and The Red Queen Kills 7 Times. 2 kind of like obscure slasher movies. So we've got that one and that one. Sorry, I said slasher, I mean giallo movies. Yeah, I can't really remember them too much. I don't think they left much of an impression on me, but very, very nice box set from Arrow. Yeah, same kind of features in there. But yeah, that is the Killer Dames box set. Next up, we have the standard edition box set of the Vengeance trilogy. So this is the trilogy that contains Old Boy, but as well as that, we get Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Lady Vengeance. My favourite of the 3 is Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. I know a lot of people would probably say Old Boy, but I do really love Sympathy. It's a fantastic movie. And yeah, I think you can still get this box set fairly cheap, especially when it's on a sale. And yeah, I'd recommend it. They're fantastic movies, fantastic South Korean crime movies, let's say. But yeah, that is the Vengeance trilogy. Next up, we have American Horror Project Volume 1. So yeah, this is a box set that I bought mainly because a lot of people hyped it up when it first came out. But this is probably one of my least favourite box sets from Arrow. I mean, granted, the set does look very nice, but the movies are trash. Like, all three of them are absolutely trash. And yeah, and because of that, I never bothered picking up part 2. Yeah, I just couldn't get into these movies at all. But the box set's nice, I suppose. Next up, we have the standard editions of the Gamera box sets. So this is the shower era one, and then we have the high C era. And yeah, when they join together, it makes this very nice image, which is pretty cool. Yeah, the movies are pretty decent. Not really a big fan of the shower era ones. I think there's just a few too many, and they feel very samey to me after a while. But I did quite enjoy the high C era ones. A bit more modern. Yeah, they just have a bit more depth to them as movies. But yeah, those are the 2 Gamera box sets. Next up, we have the Long Good Friday and Mona Lisa box set. This is a beautiful release from Arrow. Yeah, you get the 2 movies, obviously, Long Good Friday and Mona Lisa. Yeah, there's all your features on the back, and then you get the sort of the movies housed in these digipacks, and then you get like your limited edition booklets. Great movies. Long Good Friday is one of my favourites. Mona Lisa is great as well. But yeah, the both of them are just fantastic, and it's a fantastic release from Arrow. Next up, we have the Ring Collection. So yeah, this isn't the limited edition one, it's just the standard one with the 3 movies. Yeah, I love these movies. The first one is fantastic, very, very creepy. Scares the hell out of me every time I watch it. The second one's okay. It does definitely have some creepy moments, but it's just not as good story-wise. But the biggest surprise for me was the third one, the prequel. I'm not really a prequel kind of guy. I don't really get prequels. I'm just not into them at all. But the prequel for this one really works, and very, very creepy in places, similar to the other 2 movies. But yeah, the first one is a classic, of course. But all 3 of them do have their merits. But yeah, that is the Ring Collection. Next up, we have the Female Scorpion Prisoner Collection. So again, this isn't the limited edition one, it's just the standard one with the 4 movies. I love these films. The first one is amazing, one of the best movies I've seen for a while. The second one's great as well. And even the third and fourth one, just fantastic movies. Meiko Kaji as the female protagonist, she's just fantastic in these movies. Brilliant acting, and she's just what a screen presence she has as well. But yeah, I really love these movies. So again, if you like your sort of old school Japanese cinema, definitely check them out. Next up, we have the Years of Lead collection. So yeah, this is a collection of 5 Italian police crime thriller movies, and yeah, a beautiful box set from Arrow. I love that that artwork on the front. And yeah, the movies you get is Savage Free, Like Rabid Dogs, Colt 38, Highway Racer, and No Cases Happily Resolved. The movies kind of vary in quality. Some I really enjoyed, the others not as much. But yeah, it's a fantastic release. And if you're interested in your old school Italian cinema, yeah, definitely give them a go. But that is the Years of Lead box set. Next up, we have the Vengeance Trails box set. So this is a collection of, I think it's 4 spaghetti western movies. Yeah, fantastic artwork there. Yeah, it's a beautiful box set. You get the 4 movies, like I said, a booklet, and you also get a very, very nice poster, which you can see is hanging up right there behind me for the movie Massacre Time. Again, the movies kind of vary in quality. Massacre Time is fantastic. Bandidos is fantastic. My Name is Pecos and God Said to Cain. Those 2 were okay, but they probably just need a rewatch from me. But yeah, if you like your more obscure spaghetti western movies, definitely give them a go. They're very enjoyable. Next up, we have the complete Sartana Collection. So yeah, again, spaghetti westerns. We get 5 spaghetti westerns here, all following this character known as Sartana. And yeah, these are fantastic movies. Pretty much all of them are really enjoyable. Yeah, I can't say much more than that. If you like your more obscure spaghetti western movies, definitely give them a go. And this isn't the limited edition set. I think this is just the standard one with the 5 movies. But yeah, it's a beautiful box set from Arrow. Next up, we have the limited edition set of the House Collection. So yeah, this is the one that contains all 4 movies and this very, very meaty hardback book. Very, very nice. Yeah, that's the back, the front, of course. Yeah, the movies kind of vary in quality. I like House 1. I do get some enjoyment out of the third one, even though it's not technically a House movie. The second one's okay. The fourth one is bad. It's pretty terrible, but it's an amazing box set. It's got a lot of weight to it, probably because of that hardback book. But yeah, that is the House Collection. Next up, we have the Daimajin Collection. I think that's how you pronounce it. These are a series of 3 kaiju films about this sort of character called Daimajin, and yeah, these movies are fantastic. I was really blown away by them. I probably enjoy them more than like the Godzilla movies and the Gamera films. I just had a blast with them, and very, very sort of different kind of set from Arrow. It opens up like so, and there's all your contents inside. So you get the 3 movies and a booklet, and you also get like a poster in there. And postcards, I think, as well. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous set from Arrow. Love the artwork on it. The Daimajin trilogy. Right, next up, we have a movie for the 3rd time in this complete 2-part video. We have Battle Royale again, and this is the 4K limited edition box set. So very similar to the other box set I showed. You get the original version, the director's cut, but you also get the second movie as well, and you get 2 different cuts of that movie. You get like a trump card collection, you get the original soundtrack, and you get a very, very hefty book, basically about Kinji Fukasaku, the director of the movie. But yeah, that's the back of the box set. But yeah, it's a beautiful set. And if you haven't guessed already, I love this movie. One of my absolute favorites. It's just brilliant. A fantastic movie and a very, very nice, hefty, beautiful box set from Arrow. But yeah, that is Battle Royale on 4K. Right, next up we have probably one of my prized possessions in my collection, and it is the Hellraiser Scarlet box set. Yeah, this is a stunning box set from Arrow. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of the movies. I love the first one. The second and third one I enjoy, but not as much as the first one. But as soon as Arrow announced this back in, I think it was 2014, I knew I just had to have it. And I remember there was a lot of issues with people getting this box set because there was a lot of delays, and Arrow were one of the shops that had a huge delay in sending it out to people. So people who bought it from Amazon and Zavvi, they got it straight away. But anyone who ordered it from Arrow, it took a while to arrive. And I remember there was a lot of uproar about that. But the box set opens up like so, comes off on the top. And because I ordered it from Arrow, it came with this postcard saying, "Sorry, I'm late, the traffic's been hell," which I think is a very sort of unique thing for anyone who ordered it from Arrow. And then the contents are kind of just like all on top of each other on the inside, all in like digipacks. But yeah, it's just an amazing set. And like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of all 3 of the movies, but it's just an absolutely amazing set and one of my prized possessions for sure. But I'm sure this will probably have a 4K box set soon. But for now, we've got this one, and yeah, one of my absolute favorites. And the last item in my collection now is another sort of franchise, a series of horror movies, and it is the Phantasm Collection. And yeah, this is one of my favorite franchises, one of my favorite horror franchises, and this is just a beautiful box set from Arrow. Top lifts off like so. All of your contents are kind of here, so you get the booklet. But this thing here, you're probably wondering what it is. It houses this what you call it, the orb things from Phantasm, which is pretty cool. But underneath that, you get all your discs for the movies and stuff. But yeah, it's just a wonderful box set. Yeah, I couldn't wait to have it in the collection when it first came out. But yeah, if you haven't seen them, definitely recommend checking them out, because they're just a series of fantastic horror movies, and they maintain like a great like consistency all the way to the end, whereas I feel like a lot of other horror franchises don't really maintain the consistency, but I think the Phantasm movies do. But But yeah, there you go. That is the Phantasm collection from Arrow. So there you go, guys. That is everything from my Arrow video collection. Like I said before, if you've not seen part 1 of this video, please feel free to check that out. I will leave a link in the description below. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If there's anything you've seen here that you'd maybe like to look at more, you want me to do more of an unboxing of it for you, let me know in the comments below, because I would be more than happy to do that. But yeah, until then, guys, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you all again on the next one. So yeah, take care, guys.